Hey, Troy, I need you to speed up the delivery of the parts I ordered the other day by a week. Thank you for your ongoing support, David. You're asking about the delivery timeline, I see? It's not a request, it's an order. It's a decision that's already been made. I sincerely apologize, but at this point, we've set the delivery schedule at the very limit of production capacity due to the preferences of our headquarters. I will talk to the production team, but there's a high possibility that we won't be able to meet your expectations. I told you that moving the delivery date up is a decision that's already been made. You're in a position where you're receiving work from us, so don't argue with me. As much as I would like to comply, the reality is that any further shortening of the delivery timeline will lead to increased overtime for our employees, which in turn raises our costs. Normally, this would mean we would have to charge a special expedited fee. Moreover, having to move it up by a week at this point is unrealistic in terms of our schedule. Just do it at the regular rate. We have a budget to stick to as well. I'm not gonna pay any more than I already have. Of course, I expect you to move the delivery date up according to our wishes. If that's the case, I'm truly sorry, but we still won't be able to meet your request. What did you say? Your company, E Corporation, has had a history of unreasonable delivery demands, and we're hearing more and more voices from the production team expressing that they are reaching their physical and mental limits. As for pricing, we've already driven it down to the very edge, and to be frank, the current situation is far from what we would consider a fair price. Isn't it your responsibility as a subcontractor to manage that? Everything has its limits. Our president has advised me that if we're asked for anything more unreasonable, I'm free to decline outright, so please take my response as aligned with our company's policy. You think a fourth-rate company like yours can talk back to me? Fourth-rate? This is the consequence of defying me, the sales manager of the industry's #1 company. What will you do about the order you've placed with us at this point? Cancel it. We'll consider the contract finished with last month's order. I see. If that's the case, I'll proceed as you stated. Please send me a formal notice of contract termination via certified mail later. What a hassle. It would be problematic for both of us to get into a dispute later about what was or wasn't said. From a business perspective, it's strange to terminate a contract based solely on a message, so I'd appreciate your cooperation in this matter. Fine, I get it. As the sales manager of the leading company in our industry, I can't help but feel a bit aggrieved. I have a responsibility to uphold standards both for my team and the clients we serve. We take pride in our ability to meet demands, but sometimes those demands can be excessively burdensome. It's frustrating to deal with clients who seem oblivious to the pressures on our end. Troy, while I understand you're trying to do your job, this is simply unacceptable. You cannot expect us to operate under these constraints without any consideration for our well-being. I know it's a tough situation, but my hands are tied. I have to stick to our internal guidelines and the limits that have been set. We can't sacrifice our employees' health for a hasty timeline. If we push them too hard, we risk quality and output. This isn't just about you, David. It affects us as well. If I don't meet my clients' demands, I risk losing my job. It's a competitive environment, and every decision counts. I have quotas to meet, and I can't afford to let anyone down. I get that, but what you need to understand is that I have a duty to my team as well. They work hard, and they deserve to be respected. Pressuring them beyond their limits only leads to burnout and dissatisfaction. We can't have that if we want to maintain a healthy work environment. Sure, but you have to look at the bigger picture. The business relies on us to meet deadlines, and if we don't, there are consequences. I don't want to be the one to break the bad news to my superiors. I can appreciate your position, but it's a two-way street. We need to come to a compromise that respects both parties involved. What about discussing a middle ground where we can still meet your needs without compromising our integrity? A middle ground, huh? What do you suggest? How about we look into adjusting the timeline slightly while still maintaining quality? I can push the team to see what they can do, but it'll require an understanding on your part that this is a shared effort. I'm willing to listen. What do you have in mind? Let's explore a few options. I can approach production and see if they can expedite certain parts of the process without sacrificing the end product. We can work together to find solutions that don't put either of us in a tough spot. All right, I'll give you that. I want to be on good terms, but it has to be clear that the expectations are realistic. Absolutely. I assure you that we want to maintain our relationship, but it has to be built on mutual respect and understanding. This could lead to more business down the line if we can prove our capabilities without overextending ourselves. Agreed. I appreciate your willingness to cooperate, and I hope we can reach a solution that benefits both sides. Hello, Sam. I hope you're doing well. I understand that you're currently on the bus, so I apologize for reaching out via message at this time.
Thank you for your message, Troy. I appreciate your consideration.
I'm writing to inform you that the prototype of the new part you requested has been completed, and I'd like to ask for your confirmation on it.
Wow, it's already done? That was impressively quick. You finished it a week earlier than scheduled.
Thank you very much. I believe a significant factor in this speedy completion is that the part you requested follows standard specifications. Fortunately, we had a similar case on file that we could refer to, which helped us streamline the process and create the prototype efficiently.
Are you perhaps referring to the situation with E Corporation?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up abruptly.
No worries, I understand that this is a more casual topic. Maybe we can discuss it more during your lunch break when you have some private time to chat.
Yes, that sounds good.
Regarding the prototype, I'll consult with my supervisor and then get back to you with a date for when I can visit your office to discuss everything in detail.
Understood. I look forward to hearing from you. For now, I'll let you go. Thank you for your attention to this matter, and I appreciate your help.
Thank you. I appreciate your understanding. Talk to you soon.
Hey, Sam. Sorry to keep you waiting. Are you still on the bus?
Yes, Troy. I was just continuing our previous conversation.
Oh, right. You were about to mention something regarding E Corporation, right?
Yes, that's what I wanted to discuss. Just a few days ago, it seems they got into a bit of trouble with a new business partner.
Oh? What happened?
After they stopped doing business with your company, they tried to request the same parts from a factory in the neighboring town. However, they were quoted a ridiculously high price, and on top of that, the salesperson from E Corporation was incredibly condescending. He said something along the lines of, you should feel grateful that a low-tier town factory like yours can contract with an industry-leading company like ours. Apparently, they asked him to leave immediately after that.
Wow, that sounds really familiar. The words seem to have a strong sense of déjà vu.
They've had similar issues when consulting with other companies, and it seems that the production of necessary parts is still halted. As a result, they're facing delays in delivering their final products.
You know, it could very well be the same salesperson who is handling our accounts.
I had a feeling that might be the case. Every time something came up, he'd proudly proclaim, "I'm the sales manager of the industry's #1 company."
What a character. By the way, I should mention that our company, A Corporation, actually took over that title a few years ago.
Oh, right. I remember that now. So with all of this happening, it seems that word of their blunders is spread to our company. They might come crawling back to you soon, begging to resume business.
Got it. I'll stay vigilant just in case. Thanks for the heads up.
Of course. If the information is useful, then that's all I need. Oh, by the way, my dad mentioned that he wants to play shogi with you again.
Oh, really?
He's all fired up and said he's definitely going to win this time.
Please, tell him to go easy on me.
Consider it done. Plus, the preparations for our wedding are nearing the final stages, and we've just finalized the contract for our new home. There's so much to look forward to.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Troy! Long time no see, David. I need to discuss some changes to our transaction details. It's a holiday today, you know. Just listen! The parts scheduled for delivery were supposed to be just the ones from the contract we had 2 months ago, but I've decided that we're gonna continue our business relationship after all. As I recall, you placed an order for 1 month's worth of parts at the time the contract was terminated, so I want those delivered based on that order. However, the president has ordered that this already ordered batch of parts must be delivered now. As a special consideration, I'm gonna give you a slightly adjusted price just for this month. What is it? I'm in a hurry. We've terminated our business relationship with E Corporation, so unless we sign a new contract and place a new order, we can't accommodate your delivery request. Hey, I told you, it's a presidential order. The president you're referring to is not our company's president. This is an order from the #1 company in the industry, allowing you low-tier companies to resume transactions with us. What choice do you have to refuse? We only have the option to refuse, actually. What did you say? Hey, Troy, are you seriously saying that? You know that if we stop doing business with you, your sales will plummet, right? Do you understand that this could lead to a critical situation for your company, potentially even bankruptcy? That's not a problem at all. In fact, we began our business relationship with A Corporation, the real #1 in the industry, 2 years ago. Huh? A Corporation? That's our rival company! That's right. We're working with that rival at 5 times the price, so restarting our contract with you at the previous price is, frankly, impossible due to our commitments with other clients. Wait, 5 times? Isn't that just outrageous? I can only share what I can, but the costs for the new parts we're getting from A Corporation are almost the same as the ones we use to supply to you. And yet you say it's 5 times? Let me clarify. In general terms, this 5 times is actually the fair market price. Could it be that you're not getting any takers anywhere else because... Yes, indeed. I want to make this clear. The issue has been your unreasonable pricing strategy, and I think you need to acknowledge that. Also, I believe your arrogant attitude has been a significant problem. That's just not right! Given that I've made promises to the president, I need to have our transactions resume at the original price. Otherwise, I'll be in a tight spot. That's impossible. Come on, can't you make this work somehow? Impossible. Please, I'm begging you, work with me here. Impossible. Troy, come on, we have a history, don't we? I don't know what kind of history you think we have, but it's impossible. Troy! It's impossible. I'm preparing to go out for a late movie with my fiancé, so I'll take my leave now. Huh? Your fiancé? Yes, it's someone from one of our client companies. During our work together, we developed a romantic relationship. You're not trying to brag about that, are you? Right now, your priority should be me, not your fiancé. Of course, my fiancé takes precedence. What? Well, then, I must take my leave. Troy! Sam, you're already on your way out, right?
Yeah, I just got on the bus at A-Town Station.
Great. I wanted to chat with you quickly before you reach your destination. There's something important I wanted to bring up. I received a message today from that sales rep at E Company, the one who contacted us a while ago. Remember him?
Wait, are you talking about the guy who claims to work for the industry's #1 company? You mean the same person that we had that huge issue with?
Exactly. It seems he's not only unprofessional, but also completely out of touch with reality. He was shocked when I explained what the proper pricing should be for the new contract, especially compared to the extremely low prices they were used to setting with us in the past.
Wow, are you serious? How could he not know basic pricing information? That's sales 101. I can't believe how incompetent someone at that level could be.
Yeah, it's kind of unbelievable. He seemed completely unprepared to handle actual business negotiations, almost like he was expecting us to simply accept the same deal we used to have.
Didn't we already explain to them that those ridiculous prices were no longer sustainable? It wasn't just a suggestion. We made it clear that we couldn't continue like that.
We did, and that's what makes it even stranger. It's like he thought we were bluffing or something. He seemed genuinely surprised when we stuck to our terms and didn't budge on the pricing. And now it looks like they're scrambling to find other suppliers because nobody wants to deal with them under those conditions.
Well, I guess it's not entirely surprising. If they've been lowballing every supplier like they did with us, it's only a matter of time before they run into trouble. What did he say exactly? Was he trying to get us to agree to the same terms again?
Pretty much. He tried to play the same card, saying they were still number one in the industry and that we should be grateful for the opportunity to work with them. It was pretty laughable, honestly.
You've got to be kidding me. Do they really think anyone still buys that line? Even if they were the top company, which I don't believe they are anymore, that doesn't give them the right to dictate unfair prices to everyone they deal with.
Exactly. And here's the kicker. He didn't just stop at asking for the same deal. He tried to sweeten the pot by offering to continue our partnership if we met their deadline on the current order. Like we're supposed to be so grateful for their business that we'd just jump at the chance to keep working with them.
Wow, so they really don't get it. They're acting like they're doing us a favor by continuing the deal, even though it's not profitable for us in the first place. It's no wonder they're having such a hard time finding suppliers to work with them.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's happening. It's funny because one of the former employees at E Company who transferred over to A Company told me that this kind of arrogant attitude isn't new. Apparently, it started because of personal ties between the previous presidents of both companies. They used those connections to get away with this kind of thing for years, but now it's all catching up with them.
That actually makes a lot of sense. They were probably relying on these personal relationships to keep the deals going, even though the business side of things wasn't sustainable. But you can only push people so far before they start looking for better options.
Exactly. And honestly, I think the new leadership over there is trying to clean up the mess. Maybe that's why they're so desperate to keep the old deals going, even though it's obvious that they can't operate that way anymore.
Yeah, it sounds like they're in panic mode. But still, they should know that we're not going to fall for those tactics again.
For sure. That's why we're sticking to our terms and letting them know that we can't continue the partnership under those conditions. I think they were expecting us to cave, but when they realized we wouldn't, they got desperate.
Well, good for you for holding firm. I know it's tough sometimes, but you have to do what's right for the company, not just for short-term gain. If they want to keep working with us, they need to meet us halfway, not just dictate terms like they have in the past.
Exactly. And I think this situation is going to be a wake-up call for them. They can't keep treating suppliers like this and expect everyone to just go along with it. Eventually, they'll have to adjust or they'll lose out entirely.
Yeah, no doubt. It'll be interesting to see how they respond when they realize they can't find anyone else willing to work with them under those conditions. Hopefully, they'll learn from this and start treating their partners with the respect they deserve.
I hope so too. Anyway, thanks for letting me vent about this. It's been a frustrating situation, but I feel better now that we're sticking to our guns.
No problem at all. I'm glad we talked about it. It's always good to hear how things are going on your end.
In the end, E Corporation was unable to secure a new business partner to replace our company. As a result, they faced significant challenges, particularly in delivering their products on time. The inability to meet their obligations meant that deadlines were missed, and the consequences of that failure were severe for the entire company. David, who was the primary contact for this issue, was held responsible for the fallout. Due to this failure, he faced not only a demotion but also a salary reduction. It was a harsh punishment, and he was effectively sidelined from his previous role in what could be described as a triple whammy: demotion, decreased pay, and a transfer to a less desirable position. This was undoubtedly a significant blow to his career and reputation. The president of E Corporation, realizing the gravity of the situation, also stepped forward to apologize. He took responsibility for the company's delay in understanding and addressing the issues that had arisen. As the head of the company, it was his duty to ensure everything ran smoothly, and he acknowledged that they had fallen short in this instance. His public acknowledgement of the failure was meant to reassure both employees and clients that they were aware of the problems and were committed to resolving them. Despite the setbacks, E Corporation is still a reasonably large and well-established company. Thankfully, they managed to avoid a crisis that could have spiraled into bankruptcy. The situation could have been much worse, potentially leading to layoffs and financial ruin for many employees. Fortunately, it appears that no one ended up in dire straits as a result of this particular incident, which was a relief for the employees who relied on their jobs to support their families. However, about a month after the initial incident, new developments emerged. It seems that David, in his new position after being transferred, made some sort of mistake that led to further complications. The details of what happened are somewhat murky, but the end result was clear. He was ultimately let go from the company altogether. This termination not only ended his employment, but also had a lasting impact on his career trajectory. Now, David is in a precarious situation. He appears to be holed up alone in his apartment, unemployed, and likely feeling the weight of his circumstances. The transition from a relatively stable career to this position of uncertainty has undoubtedly taken a toll on him. Given that he's probably behind on rent payments, it's likely just a matter of time before he faces eviction. The combination of his job loss and financial troubles has put him in a difficult position, leaving him to navigate the challenges of unemployment and potential homelessness. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.